Friendship is not something you learn in school, but if you haven't learned the meaning of friendship, you really haven't learned anything at all. Muhammad Ali. Hello everyone again, and welcome to the 3rd Annual Gala here at Grand River Academy. My name again is Zak Burke. I'm 17 years old and I'm a junior here. I came to GRA as a sophomore last year and have been involved in many things like Big Brothers Big Sisters, youth philanthropy, and student council. I've accomplished so many things in my life, like traveling to Africa more than 10 times in the past 5 years. Been roommates with a random kid from China who spoke no English at all, yet we still managed to become best buds in less than 3 months, partly through talking through Google Translate for a while, but that's beside the point. And I've changed my whole life around emotionally, athletically, and academically in just a matter of a couple months. But the thing I'm most proud of is the everlasting relationships that I have made in the past 700 days. I have always been a really social person. People who have either known me for 1 day or 1 decade both ask me, do you want to be a politician someday? I don't know exactly why adults in particular ask me this, but I'm pretty sure sometimes they wonder about my unbelievably manipulative strategies I use only to get out of trouble. I don't know why. I learned this from growing up with a rule-following mother and father that my brother and I fully did not inherit, but him definitely more than me. Trouble just seemed to be the one thing that I could never escape from. Which would be a terrible thing to hear if you're my parents. Sorry, mom and dad again. So why not just start from the beginning? January 15th, 2000, 10:15 a.m. at Good Samaritan Hospital in Chicago, Illinois was the very first time that I opened my big, dark brown eyes and began this long and challenging journey of my life. I don't know exactly how my first couple of years went, but my dad told me that I learned to play the cello and speak French by the age of 4, so I guess I've always been a perfect kid. As my innocent and pure life continued, life started to change. I became the victim in every situation and started to cause trouble. This is around 8th grade and freshman year, and these were the main years of my not-so-brightest moments. My priorities were chaotic, and I had my mindset on one thing, me. My inner teenager started to really kick in. I had my priorities set for the rest of 8th grade and all of high school. I was entitled to have a good time and a great underage life, and so I did, lying, cheating, stealing, and manipulating my way through every troubling situation to get what I wanted while not thinking of or accepting the consequences. Sorry. As my freshman year of high school started to wrap up, I realized I could not balance the things I loved and needed, like athletics and academics, versus the thing that I wanted, like materials and having a good time. Whether I admitted it or not, I knew I was struggling. The first day of summer, my parents made the hard decision to send me to a wilderness therapy program called Aspiro. Just like any other wilderness kid would say, it was absolutely 100% horrendous. Looking back now, I'm glad I got to form a bond with the guys that I still talk to 2.5 years later, but that story is for a different time. Now comes the next chapter in my life, Grand River Academy. So here I am. 2 years have absolutely flew by. So let me tell you not what changed me, but made me realize who I can be. Have you ever known someone that just brings a fun and positive vibe that you love being around? This is what Mr. Thomas Pollock has showed me in my life, not by his words, but by his actions. This man has helped me extraordinarily in these last 2 years. I could bring up multiple specific cases that usually include some type of debate about religion or politics or something like that, where he has taught me something about myself that I didn't even know existed. Pollock has a saying that I don't even think he notices, but it has made more of an impact on me than he realizes. Last year, another student and I had a small disagreement that escalated pretty quickly and got to the point that it needed to be separated. I thought this was a huge step back for my growth and maturity that I made in such a little amount of time. The next day at school, I thought all the teachers were just going to be disappointed in me because they expected so highly of me, as they should. If you can see right about now, I was resorting back to my old ways of playing the victim, and this was not going in a good direction at all. But as I walked over to the cafeteria in the morning for breakfast, I saw Mr. Pollock walking slouched over as usual, with his coffee cup in his hand, in that pattern tie. I think you're wearing it right now. That exact tie. And I just can't, the orange plaid like jacket that just makes my eyes want to bleed. I just can't get over that. Oh, and your train conductor hat. I can. Okay, that's gonna come back to This was different though. He just kind of looked at me. I just thought, here comes the first negative comment of the day, telling me what was I thinking and why didn't I just come back in my room. But he didn't do that. All he did was say his little saying, "Well, that was stupid." Bursted out laughing. With his laugh, I'm squinting and smiling ear to ear, making a kind of noise that sounds like a yelping walrus. That's the only thing I could think of when I was thinking about it. This made me feel so much more different than I ever did in these kinds of situations. Every time I get into trouble, I'm always aware of the consequences, whether I accepted it or not. This time, he showed me something that no one ever did. He cared. Whether he or I noticed it or not, that single sentence could have changed my whole life from plummeting into rock bottom again. So thank you, Pollock, for being my counselor, my teacher, my coach, my support, but most importantly, my friend. You brought out the true Zach in me, and whether I admit it or not, you did usually win all those debates. Finally, let me tell you about the most goofy, friendly, and the only other word I can think of to describe him is entertaining kid I have ever met in my entire life. Dawood Ahmad. I came to GRA as an upper middle class, stuck-up, and entitled student athlete who had plenty of insecurities, which led to low self-confidence that I hid behind my cocky attitude. How could my character match with a kid that comes from a wealthy family from a small city in Palestine that has no intention of continuing athletics at the next level, which is mainly the only thing that I cared about. I thought about one thing I would change about Dawood for this speech. I said to myself, I wish that he would just think before he spoke, like not say the first thing that was on his mind. That was one of my dumb, sarcastic comments, if you didn't pick that up. Then I thought more about it. The first time I met him was during the preseason workouts for soccer last year. So coming back this year for preseason made it a little easier knowing that my good friend was going to be on the team. And not only that we were the upperclassmen, but the ones that our teammates look up to. The first game of the season was a home game against Andrews Osborne Academy, better known as AOA. We're not really best friends with that team, but in any sport, yes, good. We were down 4-1, and there was about 10 minutes left in the game. I am generally the most competitive kid you will ever meet in your entire life. Whether we're playing FIFA or real soccer, if I lose something, it's definitely going through a wall. I don't laugh on the pitch, field, or court, but I keep a tunnel vision on the only thing that matters, is winning at all costs. So being down 3 goals and the game ending very soon, I was already not in a good mood. I was playing in the midfield and Dawood was playing defense, so I normally would run back and support the defense on opposing runs. As we were pushing up the pitch, because our goalie cleared the ball out of the box, I heard Dawood socializing with the other team's striker. He was also the MVP and top scorer in the conference. Really good Ukrainian kid. The only words I heard were culture shock and Tabasco sauce, and I could not help myself to start break out laughing and crying on the field. I can't even explain how funny it was, but if you know Dawood, he had that clueless look on his face that makes him look like he has no idea what's going on around him. Although we did lose that game, I think you scared him away because I did not see that poor kid on the field the next time we played them, so good job on that. Even though he scored 3 goals. What I'm trying to say is that he takes me away from reality. I forget all the things that are going on in my life, and it's an enormous and unexplainable relief. He made me come out of my shell that I hid in because I was so worried about everyone else thought of me. Dawood, do you remember all those times that we said we wish we never came here and we wish we just stayed home at our old school? Now I realize why we came from both ends of the world to meet in a place called Austinburg, Ohio. I came to GRA as a boy, and you helped me shape me into the man I am becoming. I wouldn't change anything about you, and I am so glad that I can not only call you my best friend forever, but my brother for eternity. So thank you. I spent so long not knowing why school was so important and why I needed it. There are so many kids in this world that could benefit and excel in their life if they could just find the support that the GRA family provides. All of you here tonight are a part of that GRA family that continues to provide opportunities to students through your generosity. I am eternally grateful for your generosity that gave me the privilege to not only excel academically, but to form the life-changing relationships I have made here at Grand River Academy. So thank you everyone, and enjoy the rest of your evening.